Hey everybody, welcome to Hashtag Pastor Besties.
Hey, I'm Melissa.
And I'm Nicole.
And we've had quite a few episodes already.
We're so excited. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
And we love this. This is so fun.
Yeah, because can I tell them what we talk about?
I don't know what you're going to say, so I can't approve it or...
As usual. We think we're adorable and hilarious.
Don't say that to people.
Well, I mean,
she
if we
told her bishop this. Stop it.
If we don't find ourselves adorable and hilarious, who will?
Not those people. Sorry, folks. Okay,
Anyway, so
we do have a hilarious and adorable guest today, though. Our first guest. This is so exciting.
yes. So Kim Stuby is with us, and Kim is an ordained deacon in the United Methodist Church, and we're going to hear a little bit about what she does when we talk about our topic for today, which is the things they never taught you in seminary.
So many things.
All the things.
Well, welcome to Hashtag Pastor Besties, Kim. We're so excited to have you.
Yeah. Kim, do you want to tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do and why you're awesome?
Why I'm awesome.
That would take years.
Oh, thank you. Really, no, not so much, but thank you. I am Kim Stuby, and I'm an ordained deacon in the United Methodist Church. And what I do as a deacon is work in camping ministry. So right now I am the program
Did you see
manager.
Melissa's face? Camping
okay.
ministry.
I did not bring any raccoons.
Oh, praise Jesus.
Rumors have spread. Love of raccoons.
Right now I am the program manager at Little Grass United Methodist Camp and the interim site manager at Little Grass United Methodist Camp. And I am also programming assistant for youth and camping ministries in the Illinois Great Rivers Conference of the United Methodist Church.
Is there
That's
anything
a
you
lot of
don't
things.
do?
Yeah, I don't do windows ever.
Yes, that's awesome.
Best answer.
Oh my goodness.
So as a camp director, do they have seminary classes on like, here's how you be a camp director? Do they do that?
Sort of. Drew University offers classes in United Methodist Camping Ministry. There are 5 classes that they offer. Well, 4 classes, and then 1 if you're not seeking ordination. You don't have to take all the polity and
Well,
doctrine
shout out
and
to
history.
Drew University.
So, yeah, Drew
Holding it
University offers
down.
those.
That's interesting. Huh. So,
But
there's-
you didn't go to Drew. You have taken these certifications, but you got your...
I got
MDiv
I don't have an MDiv.
Oh.
I have a Master
Oopsies.
of Arts in Pastoral Studies with a concentration in Christian education and camping ministry. And I got that at Eden Theological Seminary in St. Louis. And then I picked up the extra camping classes at Drew.
Nice.
Wow.
Melissa, tell our viewers where you held it down during seminary.
Held it down. I went to United Theological Seminary in Dayton, Ohio, and I held it down there, mastering the divine. Where did you go?
I mastered the divine at Candler School of Theology at Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. Go Eagles.
I don't know. We had a mascot.
Well, that's sad because...
Jesus was our mascot.
All right, you win.
As he should be.
You win.
So when you were in seminary, like, do you remember your favorite class?
Theology of Wesley with Dr. Rex Matthews. Hands down, best class I had. Fell in love with Mr. Wesley at seminary, and I loved that class. It was so good.
I kind of made my judgment face while you were talking.
You did.
I tried to hide it well. I mean, you love John
I
Wesley.
love John Wesley. That was like, where it all really started for me. I mean, I knew about John Wesley, enjoyed him, but love.
I love that you love J-Dubs.
I do.
Kim, what was your favorite class? Do you remember?
My favorite, I don't remember the name of it, but it was about congregational, I think it was called congregational development, but it wasn't really congregational development. It was,
That sounds like most seminary classes. I mean,
it was more about how to make things work in the church and in the world working with people whose theology may not be quite the same as yours, but still
When does that happen in the
getting
church?
along and loving each other.
Second of every day.
So yeah, that was probably my favorite, taught by John Brocky.
Very good. How about you, Melissa?
I think all of them, but
All of them.
all of the things. I mean, I loved my theology classes. There was a theology class really specifically that I took called Sin, Han, Woundedness, and Healing, which was kind of
that
like
sounds
pastoral
interesting.
care and theology all wrapped up together by Andrew Sung Park. Like, he's the expert of all the things. And he's so mystical and it was really,
Magical, too? Oh, just mystical. Got it.
I would have said magical, but I didn't know if he would be offended.
Oh.
But I'm not.
What about your least favorite class?
I don't know if I had one.
What? Oh, I do.
Yes. I love these stories. What was your least favorite?
Evangelism. Required for graduation, ordination, I can't remember. Required.
Yeah, it's required for ordination.
Yeah.
Do you
Spent
not?
so much time talking about church signs. Like, we had to go around, drive around and find church signs and then, like, come in and talk about them. That was our evangelism class.
Did you talk about how many people come into a church and are like, I accepted Jesus because of your church sign?
No, but we did talk about how Jesus isn't your co-pilot because he should be your pilot.
Sounds like a
That's all I
worthwhile
remember from that class.
class. Sounds like
Worst class, yes. How about you, Kim Stuby?
I shouldn't admit this, but my least favorite class was church history. And it wasn't because I didn't like the history. It was because the professor was so dry.
We won't make you name that professor
I
on the
won't.
air.
I won't name him because he's still teaching at Eden Theological
well,
Seminary.
now everybody's gonna Google it. Hey,
Shout out to Eden.
we just lost another sponsor.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, so the whole point of today's episode is to talk about things that, like, when you get into your setting as a pastor, what are the things that you didn't learn in seminary that you were like, why didn't they teach me this thing? So what do you got, Melissa?
You know, I think that there was a lot of administrative stuff.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I learned a lot of that hands-on in my student appointment. Like, I learned how to be at a finance committee, and I learned how to read a budget, and yeah, I learned all those things hands-on, but there wasn't a class for it, or if there was, I missed it.
Whoopsies.
Whoopsies.
How about you, Kim? Something that, like, you didn't learn, like, I don't know, what happens when the camp gets overrun with raccoons?
You know, we
That never happens, Melissa. It's okay.
We didn't learn that, but I kind of like raccoons.
Me
So
too.
I'm
They're
okay
so
with that.
cute.
What we didn't learn was how to deal with the people who don't like the raccoons. I had to learn that through experience, but that's okay. Melissa was at camp last summer, and she
I gave her
me
a lot of
experience, a whole lot. But other things I didn't learn, like for what I'm doing, because I'm working in a camp, like we didn't learn how to use a plunger, and which plunger you use for a sink and which plunger you use for a toilet.
You can plunge a sink.
Because they're different. And we didn't learn, like, when to call the professionals and when it's okay just to try to fix it yourself.
With duct tape?
Yeah, duct tape. Duct tape fixes almost anything.
Good to know.
It does.
These are all things I didn't know.
I
I
didn't
didn't know
know
that I
either.
needed to know.
Yeah,
When
and they
something
make pink duct tape, too.
Ooh, sparkly?
Yeah. Well, you know, I found green sparkly, but I've never found pink sparkly.
That means it's out there.
Yeah, it
We shall
probably is.
acquire it.
I found it.
Oh,
I didn't
it's
want
in
to
my
talk
purse
about
right
it.
now.
No, it's not, but I could have. Oh gosh.
Okay, so I'm not a numbers person. So for me, like, making a budget or clergy taxes, which are like of the devil. I hate clergy taxes. They're the worst. They're so confusing. Who gets it? Not even accountants, apparently. 'Cause
Well, I mean, then you call in the expert. I mean, when do you call in an expert for anything?
yeah, but I had an accountant who didn't know how to do clergy taxes, but thought they did for like decades. And they weren't doing it right.
Whoopsies.
Yeah.
So lots of administrative stuff.
Yes, agreed.
I feel like I did learn a lot of that hands-on. It just wasn't a classroom setting. And maybe sometimes that's some of the best education is the hands-on stuff. And I mean, when Kim was talking about the plungers, when I have an issue, like just a couple weeks ago, I went up to the chair of trustees and I was like, hey, this room stinks. Can you fix it? I mean, I called in the expert.
Right.
And he fixed it.
See, trustees' chairs, they're the best.
They are the best. Because I'm not good at that.
Okay, so one day I got a call from somebody at church saying that our church had been broken into, and it was a former employee of ours that was high on drugs, broke into our church, left blood all over the place. And so they didn't teach me about that in seminary, so I went around and marked things with Post-it notes so people didn't like step in blood spots or use the water fountain because there was like blood all over.
That's so gross. Like,
This is what being a
ministry.
pastor is, right?
Sometimes it's
You just
weird
never
things.
know what you're going to deal with,
It's a weird thing. So, I mean, like within that situation, you've got building issues.
right?
You've got personnel issues.
Personnel
too.
issues,
Like,
and
sometimes.
sanitary issues.
Oh, that's.
It was
No. But, like, the HR stuff.
yeah,
I mean, sometimes, even if you have a small staff, like, there's still a staff that you have. I mean, you know, I don't have a ton of staff at my church, but there's still a staff to like oversee and manage. And I didn't learn any of that in seminary. Like, when do you hire someone or fire someone? Or
ooh, those are never fun.
no,
Either way, it's
no.
hard. It's hard because you want to find the right person, and then when you have to let the wrong person go.
Right. And there's so many differing opinions. Like, do you hire a member of the church?
Oh yeah,
Or do you not? I mean, it's so complicated and so hard.
or why don't they have a class called Dealing with Passive Aggressive People 101? Kim, come on, drop a knowledge bomb for us about dealing with passive aggressive people.
I still struggle with passive aggressive people. I've learned some things over the years, and probably the most important is not to be passive aggressive in return. That really backfires every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad decision. And can I share a story that I kind of like?
Yes, please.
But
Absolutely.
But maybe
We love
wasn't really very nice.
Story time.
So several years ago, and he is no longer with us, and I suspect is not watching this on Facebook, but if he is, hi.
Greetings, welcome
Hi,
to the
Larry.
show. Should I call him out?
I did. But he
Well,
was
that's not passive aggressive.
but he wouldn't give me. I was the program manager of the camp, and he wouldn't let me have a key to the office, which is where all my programming stuff was. Okay, so he said I would just have to call him every time I needed to get in the office, but I was to lock the door so the first week I just didn't lock the door when I left. I left the office open all the time. But then he realized that, and so I got in trouble for that. And so I was supposed to leave the office, lock the office every time I left, and call him if I needed to get in. So I called him when I needed a paper clip, and I called him when I needed tape, and I called him when I needed important stuff too. But I called him 14 times between breakfast and lunch one day,
Oh no.
and then he gave me a key. So
Winning.
So I won that one, but that was a little passive aggressive.
A little. I mean,
Just a smidge. Passive.
Just a little.
gosh.
So better ways, I think, are, for me, what I've discovered is just to call people out on it and say, you know, your behavior is a little passive aggressive, and can we talk about how we can make an arrangement or work in this arrangement so that we can both be happy with.
It's hard.
It is very hard.
Because that's people like passive aggressive and ministry just kind of going together. Maybe it's just people.
It's just people.
Just people.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with people.
Yeah, because who likes conflict?
Not me. No.
Nobody does. Well, there are people who do.
There are. And I don't like those people. because then they force me to be in conflict with them.
Yeah. So for all of those things that we didn't learn in seminary, there's a lot that we did. Like I so appreciate my theological education because I think that really gave me the underpinning to understand, like, I can have a theological reason of why I do something I do sometimes.
Well, and I got the best theological education offered in America. Thank you, Candler. You're the best.
Do you want them to be a sponsor?
I'm just telling the truth, but if they want to sponsor us, let's do it.
All right.
All right. Well, they can't teach you everything. You're only there for 3 years-ish, maybe longer if you're doing it part-time.
Mm-hmm.
So, they give you the best they can.
Yeah.
But there's so much stuff you learn on the fly in the job.
You do.
So if you've got something that you wish that they had a class on in seminary, put it in the comments because we want to see what you guys think too.
Maybe we can do like a hashtag Pastor Bestie school.
Ooh. Brain glitter. That was just like brain glitter right there.
I have some in my purse. Don't worry.
It's fine. She always has it on hand.
So yeah, think about what it is that you wish that you had learned or what you know now thanks to your seminary education because it helps. And yeah. So may you know that you don't know it all. Mm-mm. And you'll experience stumbles and falls, but you don't have to do it by yourself. So we will see you again in a couple weeks.
Thanks for being on the show, Kim Stuby.
Thanks for having me.
See you guys later. Bye.